Welcome to another video from alpacaguild.com. In this video we're going to be talking about water. Whether you have an established herd or you're just getting started, we have tips and ideas to help you enjoy your journey with your alpaca. Let's get started. So here we have a very typical water tank. This is 30,000 litres. We need to get the water into this. Sometimes we're pumping up, sometimes it's down. It depends on the height of your terrain and where this is located towards the catchment area, the roof of a building. We also need to think about how we get this water to the troughs, whether we pump it or we use gravity. It's an expensive system, and there are cheaper options, and that's what we're going to have a look at now. So here we're standing in the first shelter that we built on this farm. It's a very simple 3 metre by 3 metre, so 9 square metre roof, sitting on 4 posts. It provides excellent shelter from the rain and from the sun. It's not great in that it doesn't have sides, and we've since moved on and built better shelters than this, and we'll be covering those in a future episode. But what this does provide is excellent water catchment, which means that we can move on from the expensive system we've just had a look at. So here we are with some basic components to put together a system that doesn't require the pumps, the large storage tank, or any of the pipe work. We're going to use a couple of 200 litre tanks. These are the sort that you would normally get for an urban property, where you'd be catching water off a downpipe. We've got a very simple trough here with a ball valve, and this is an example of a smaller trough. Sometimes these come with ball valves, because for alpacas you really don't need to have the large size that you might have, say, for cattle. So here's the setup that we've been running off our first shelter for 4 or 5 years now. We have a simple 3 metre gutter running off the back of this slightly sloped roof to collect the water, and a downpipe that goes into just one of the 2 tanks. We join them at the bottom, and this ensures that they're both kept at an equal level. At the top of this downpipe we also have a fairly large piece of foam, and that's just to ensure that we don't get any debris into here. Any organic matter might rot. That said, these don't allow light in, so it's nice and dark in here, ensuring that that water stays cool and free from any grime that might grow. Let's go and have a look at how it's joined up at the front. So the key to the success of this setup is to really use gravity. These 2 tanks have been elevated. They can be lifted up on a pallet or something that's able to take the weight of them. We then have some very basic taps, and we're just using regular hose pipe. The pressure here is so low, it's simply the water weight that's pushing it through, so there's no need for the expensive pipes and joiners that you would normally have in a water setup system. So here we're just running through a simple hose, joining the 2 together, simple Y connector, flowing into this ball valve trough. An essential feature of any trough that's going to be placed into a permanent position is to have a bung or some other way of getting the water out so that you can clean it. I always put a brush hanging near a trough anywhere on the farm, so that when I do that I can give it a good old clean out and then give them nice fresh clean water. The rule of thumb is that alpaca water should always look like something you might want to drink, but I wouldn't test that. So there we have it, a really simple setup using nothing more than a 3 by 3 metre shelter, a couple of storage tanks on a pallet, and a ball valve trough, and a couple of hose pieces. Now, the volume of water that you need to store will depend on where you live and the amount of rainfall you have. This has been running for a good 4 to 5 years. A 10 alpaca can easily survive off this without ever running out of water. We don't provide any water through pipes, pumps, gravity. This is the only setup that's needed here. And by placing these all around the farm, we can guarantee there will always be a clean, crisp water source for the alpaca year round. So please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a future video. Thank you for watching.